Where am I? Mia Dagerman's voice echoed through a long hallway. She looked around and found she was lying down on an iron floor. To her left, she saw the rest of the people she had entered the taxi with at the airport, all lying spread out across the floor. To her right was a wall. She couldn't quite explain it, but it looked, in a weird way, futuristic. Slowly, she stood up, feeling her head start hurting as she did. "What's going on?" she muttered, with the little bit of strength she still had. She could now look around her as well. Behind her was another wall, built in the same style as the others surrounding her. In front of her was an opening in said wall, leading to a dark hallway. She felt she had regained some strength and started slowly walking towards it. However, instead of going through the opening like she had expected, Mia walked straight into something she couldn't see. An invisible door? It seemed like it was, but that'd be impossible. Her mystery solving would, however, have to wait. What happened? Mia looked behind her and saw Shane van Gisbergen slowly standing up, before almost losing his balance and grabbing onto the wall. He also started looking around the room and noticed Mia standing there. "Mia? Oh, thank God I'm not alone," he said, leaning back against the wall to remain standing. "Trust me, you're not alone," she said, pointing at the ground where the rest of the group was still lying down. "Jesus Christ, what's going on here?" Shane asked, a hint of disgust in his voice. "That's what I'm trying to find out," Mia answered before she quickly went back to inspecting the invisible door. It wasn't glass, she would have spotted that by now. This was something she didn't recognize. Shane slowly walked towards her. "What kind of mime act are you performing?" he laughingly asked. "Oh, I wish it was an act. There seems to be an invisible door here or something," Mia explained. "You and I both know that's ridiculous. How can something be Shane's sentence was cut off as he tried to put his hand through the opening, only to discover the door actually being there. "Well, son of a gun, won't you look at that?" he said sarcastically. Mia laughed slightly. Just then, they heard a groan behind them. Slowly, Jack Walker stood up, exploring his surroundings. What happened? Where am I?" he said, confused. "We don't know either," Mia explained. Shane nodded in agreement. "Well, that's comforting," Jack said, trying to laugh. As he looked around, his face dropped. "Wait, where's Haley?" he asked, almost panicked. Mia didn't say anything, but pointed behind Jack, where Haley was indeed still lying, the last one to be unconscious. Jack looked somewhat relieved, although not by much. "You know she has a boyfriend, right?" Shane joked. "Dude, it's not like that," Jack reacted, tried to talk his way out of the situation. "When you two are done, I wouldn't mind some help trying to get out of here," Mia said, running into the door with her shoulder first to try and break it open, before bouncing back. "Honestly, I don't think that'd be such a good idea," Shane said. "You think?" Mia said, looking at her bruised shoulder. "No, not that. I mean breaking out in general. I don't know where the hell we are, but whoever controls this place is quite clearly either insanely powerful or alien, and I, for one, am not willing to find out what they do to escapees," Shane explained. "But we can't stay in here," Mia said. "Well, either we stay here and live, or we die out there. I choose life," Shane retorted. Mia wanted to reply, but the fight was interrupted. "Ow!" The group turned around. There they found Haley Deegan, who had jumped up to a standing position. She looked at the ground as if trying to check it for something, before realizing that she just jumped up from sleeping. As soon as it hit, the headache hit as well, and she fell against the wall. "Haley, are you alright?" Jack said. "Yes, I think so." "Christ, what was that?" Haley answered. "What was what?" Shane asked. I don't know. 1 minute we were sitting in the taxi and we fell asleep. I guess I slept for a while before I felt a sudden sting, and now I'm here," Haley explained, now actually waking up. She, like everyone before her, looked around the room, and slowly the situation started to sink in. Are we trapped in here? Haley asked, still somewhat dazed. Apparently so. These walls are tough, and believe me, it may not look like it, but there's a door there, Shane said. Right, we have to get out of here, Haley said as she started inspecting the room. I'm not so sure about that. I don't know who or what put us here, but they have to be insanely technologically advanced. I mean, look at this. If we escape, I don't know what'll happen to us. Mia intervened. Shane looked up confused for a second. I could have sworn that wasn't what you... Once again, Shane was interrupted by Mia. This is exactly what I said. I don't know what you're talking about, she quickly said. Haley looked at the two for a while, before shifting her focus to just Mia, creating a stare down between the two. She was just about to ask Shane about what he meant, but her attention was shifted when she heard something from the dark hallway. The entire group turned towards the door, attempting to see what was going on. Slowly, the sound started to become more clear. It was a voice.
Okay, so for everyone who listens, you all know Sammy Smith, good friend of mine, wonderful. We just shoot the fence about whatever motorsport we're talking about at any given segment. It's great. I love it. Anyway, so I have an interesting statement here where it says that the Joe Gibbs Racing driver wants out of his contract for the 2026 season. He explains to a reporter, I'm believing it's either Bob Pockrass or Jeff Gluck, that he doesn't see a future with a team that's treating him like an obvious third driver, and this is presumably because of the incident at Homestead, where he was blatantly ordered to move over for Christopher Bell and Ty Gibbs so they could chase down championship rival Hailie Deegan. And that is believed that has a lot to do with this. So, and according to multiple sources, from MRN reporters, SiriusXM reporters, PRN reporters, everyone in the NASCAR media, basically, they're saying that both Hendrick Motorsports and Stewart-Haas Racing have shown interest in the young driver, and I actually want to hear from you guys about how you all feel about it.
Turn it off, will you? The initial voice stopped, revealing it was actually just a recording. Dude, I've been stationed here for ages. The only way I even get any motorsports news is through Highline Runners, a man explained, talking to the other man who had just commanded him to turn off his podcast. Maybe actually focus on your job instead, the other man said. Fine. They're over here, right? Yes. Suddenly, the men rounded a corner and became visible to the group. Both were dressed like soldiers, wearing a full tactical suit. Each carried an M4A1, although neither was in a position to fire. The group, in their shock, fell back. Haley and Jack stumbled against the rear wall, while Mia and Shane fell onto the ground, barely catching themselves on the side walls. Stay back! Jack yelled in the least intimidating manner possible. The two soldiers laughed a bit. We're warning you, Shane said, standing up, albeit somewhat clumsily. The laughter continued. What are you laughing at? Haley called out. It's just so funny seeing you all get defensive like that, one of the soldiers said. But why wouldn't we? You didn't capture us to be nice, Mia yelled. You all, trust us. You're not in any danger. A silence fell. They had to be lying.